Hello there, Serpent17 once again. This is my Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. We're going to be taking another unscheduled shortcut here to somewhere else, which is known as Archdragon Peak and the Ancient Wyvern. You do not have to do this, guys. What I'm doing here is giving you the tools and the knowledge to get any weapon you want and make it strong. Because if you follow the path I'm about to take before you take on Pontiff Sylvain, who's kind of considered the halfway point of the game, you will be able to buy all the resources needed to make your character the way you want to make him as far as his arsenal goes. And I think that's a very important tool, so I'm going to be doing it earlier than a lot of people choose to do it. Of course, you can beat this entire game at level 1, so you have to stop looking at it like, I'm not meant to be here, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm not a high enough level, I'm not X, I'm not Y, because the game isn't made that way. If you're good enough, and you know enough, you can go anywhere. You just have to tick a few arbitrary boxes and have the skills or the patience to get through the zones. So we got this taunt, if you remember, back before we went into the Untended Graves. It was just after Osiros guy, and we're going to use it now to trigger this special cutscene, which I just edited out because I'm an evil bastard. But this is one of the most beautiful areas in the game, and it reminds me of the extra bonus stage in Death Smiles, the crazy cliff area, which is incredibly difficult too if you've ever played that game at a higher level than just credit feeding. Insanely difficult level. But this is actually a tricky place too, because not only are there these serpent guys that have those awesome looking showtells, which aren't classed as showtells for some reason, they're classed as something else, and they swing like the pickaxe from Dark Souls 1 for some reason. It also has big enemies that do crazy animations and have crazy weapons. Everything can spit fire at you because why not? You know, there's these crazy whip snake dudes who summon in NPCs that you can fight almost indefinitely and get some nice souls from them. It's the area that's designed to be like, yo dog, we're going to turn this up a little bit to see if you can handle it. So this first area, I run to the bonfire and I get gangbanged. There's no point in hiding it, guys. You'll know I'm getting gangbanged when there's 20 of these dudes turning up and the crossfade emerges. Or no crossfade, just a reload. So I could have quit if I was, if I cared about dying. But I don't care about dying in these games. These games are meant to kill you. They're designed to kill you. Oftentimes it can be cheesy as fuck, other times it can be way fairer, but for the most, they are designed to do big damage. Like, look at the damage I'm receiving. This is a very dangerous area. And you do not have to fight these guys either. But I wanted to kill some of them, because I wanted you to see just some of the stuff you can do. Mostly because these guys drop chunks. In fact, let's do the enemy thing. Let's find out exactly what they drop, because I know they drop the lightning gems, and I know they can drop their weapons. But I want to see what the book says. So, Lothric Castle, Archdragon Peak. You ready for this? Lots of chunks here as well, which is really nice. So the Serpent Man Summoner, who we haven't seen, is the first name. Great. Nice and alphabetized. He has 522 life. And he drops his staff, the Mendicant's staff. He's weak to lightning and frost. Almost everything here that has a weakness is weak to lightning and frost. This guy is very dangerous, but he can be parried and he can be stunned. So, either stun lock him, well you can't really stun lock him, but hit him a bunch of times until he staggers and then get big damage on the counter hits, or learn to parry him and have great success. Serpent Men, here we go. 589 life, weak to lightning and frost. They drop the Man Serpent Hatchet, which is my favourite looking Shortel-esque weapon in the game, but it swings really weird. Small leather shields, which is a cool shield, large Titanite chunks, and lightning gems. Large Serpent Men have 1,853 life, so the big fella I just kicked his ass in, and he drops the resources and nothing else, so chunks, large shards, and lightning gems. Then we have the Ancient Wyvern, who we're about to meet in his spectacular entrance. Such a fabulous dragon, here he comes. Say hello, Ancient. There he is. Nice beard. This dude apparently has 2 different life statistics? What is this? I'm confused here. One of them says 7,846, gives you 36,000 souls, drops chunks, Titanite scales and twinkling Titanite, and is weak to lightning and frost. And then the other one says 7,873 life, drops 70,000 souls, and then drops the Dragon Head Stone. Does it count that other dragon that flies about as an Ancient Wyvern? That dude's tiny. He's like a parrot compared to this guy. That's confusing. So yeah, I know what it means now. There's another dragon later on in this level who... I don't know if my scale is off, but he's nowhere near as big as this boss, I don't think. He drops a ton of souls, and he has the same life as this creature. That's weird. But good to know. And then of course we got the Nameless King, but we're going to talk about him later, because we're not fighting him in this video. I suppose I can't tell how big that other dragon is, but I don't think he's this big. By the way, be careful here, guys. If you do this at a bad time and you don't have your spacing right, you will miss. The amount of times I've missed is actually rather depressing. And it is a death fall as well, so you can't do shit about it if you miss. But swap your items to get the most amount of souls, depending on what items you've got. Shield of Want, Avarice Headpiece, Covetous Silver. You know the drill, guys. You've played Souls before. And then the game will teleport you up to the shrine. And then from here there's a bonfire, and it's the introduction to the serpent people. So, hit the bonfire, and when you go into this room, you're gonna meet an NPC. I think there's a random chance that it can be Havel. I'm not entirely sure how the Havel mechanic works, but I think once you kill the Havel Phantom, he doesn't turn up again, and it's just the standard... Was it like a Drake Keeper? I forget the names of him. It's an NPC from the Crown of the Sunken King. Dark Souls 2, for those who are not familiar. Only in this game they don't cheat, they don't have animation cancels and bullshit recovery and the ability to do things that are physically impossible, so as much as they've got really good spacing, really good damage, and they're a big threat because they can chug and stuff... Can he chug? I don't think this one can chug, so that's a lie. But suffice to say, they're way fairer on this game, which is not to say that they are a wanderer. They're just a much more interesting fight because they make sense. So, I've shown you some of the enemies, we've fought some of the enemies, now it's time to show you how to run to the next bonfire, because this is arguably the tougher sequence inside of this place. There's a lot of items, there's a lot of crystal lizards, this is where that other dragon's going to be. He's going to land bang... Be careful of the fucking stupid Pokemon. Lizard Metapod doing his thing. Here's the other dragon. I'll let you be the judge of if you think this dragon's the same size as the other one. I've always kind of looked at him as like a bootleg dragon, but... I guess I don't really know. I've only ever killed it once and it took forever. But run through here. This is a zone where there's another one of those summoning ladies, and she's going to bring forth a naked dude who has Ricard's rapier. So you can get the rapier if you kill him, but I'm just going to run past him because I don't really want it. And then here is the bell that activates the Nameless King, and the King of Storms, I think his dragon's called. And then we can hit this bonfire, reset everybody's position, and this is the reason we came, for anybody wondering. We came here so that we can get the ashes that enable us to buy the good resources. But the problem is, this next corridor has some of the worst enemy placement in the game. This corridor is literally one of the only areas of the game that I think is just excessive. Most areas have a very graceful touch and a very interesting measure of design. This is just, here's 50 giant dudes, 50 scrubs with shields, and 20 of those stupid stone Pokemon dudes. Enjoy. And I don't like it, so I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to immediately bonfire out. And watch how close this is. Whew, very close. But back to Firelink. Ceres is not standing, so we haven't pissed her off, which is nice. So you can still do her quest, should you choose to. I recommend you do, it's pretty interesting. You can also get some cool items. But we're going to go to the Shrine Maiden, and we're going to drop off some of the ashes. And it's going to enable us to purchase some awesome things. So there you go. You now have unlimited resources of all this fantastic stuff. We're going to upgrade our sword to the max after buying Twinkling Titanite. And now we have both Carthus Rouge for the bleed, and we have the sword maxed out, hopefully. But we don't have any souls to upgrade it. So I'm probably going to do some kind of edit here to get rid of the farming, to get the souls. Or I'm going to stare at that menu for 20 minutes. So far you haven't seen me use many consumables, so maybe I've got a ton of consumable souls. I've got a ton of boss souls I could use. That's 10k, that's not too bad. That should get us a few levels. You only have to upgrade this, what, 4 times? 5 times, maybe? Does it need the slab now? Do I have a slab? It needs a slab. So, now is the quest for a slab, so I'm probably going to go to the Crows and drop that coiled sword. Because the coiled sword will give you a Titanite slab if you need one in a quick... Oh, can I... No, you can't buy one from her yet. I haven't beaten the game. Oh, I'm just wasting the money on Carthus Rouge. Okay, it's not wasting at all. I don't know why I said that. Carthus Rouge is really, really good, guys. If you're doing a bleed build, if you're doing a luck build, if you're doing, hell, any build, if you have a weapon where you hit people a lot, put that Carthus Rouge on it. It's really going to pay dividends. It's such a great tool. But apparently that's the end of this video, guys, so the rest of the mystery will be answered in later videos. Thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.